Korean tourists stopped showing up. Dutch students stopped applying. And now, even Mexican families are quietly canceling their trips. What's happening to America, the land that once symbolized freedom, dreams, and opportunity? This isn't just about tourism. It's about trust. And the silence spreading across once busy hotels, college towns, and family-run shops is telling us something. No protests. No loud slogans. No TV news. People are just quietly disappearing, day by day. Canadians are no longer driving to Florida for winter. Japanese people are canceling their business trips to the US. French tourists now prefer Greece or Canada instead of New York. One morning, a 63-year-old innkeeper at Jersey Shore put up a "for sale" sign. Not because of a storm. Not because of high taxes. But because his regular guests stopped coming. This isn't just a sad beach story. According to a 2025 travel report, the US lost $4.2 billion from friendly countries in just a few months. This isn't one state's problem. The whole system is shaking. In this video, you'll see 10 countries slowly pulling away from America. And how some US states are collapsing because of it. Think your state is safe? Watch till the end. You might not even recognize your own country anymore. Something strange is happening. Canadians, our closest neighbors, are staying home. No protests. No official boycott. Just quiet choices, city to city. From Toronto to Vancouver, an online trend is growing called "Skip the States." People are canceling US vacations. According to US Travel Association data, Canadian visits dropped 35% in early 2025. Florida, Michigan, and New York lost over $700 million. Hotels, transport, rental cars, and shops are hurting. In Hollywood, Florida, once called Little Quebec, it's now quiet. Signs are still in English and French. But there are no customers. Mr. Richard Clevet, the innkeeper, is heartbroken. He said, "I almost renamed our reservation office to the cancellation office. This is more than money. It hurts people's hearts too." Winter trips, friendly chats, familiar smiles now all gone. Many elderly people depended on tourist income. Now they're using credit cards just to survive. And their stress is rising. Some people are trying new things. They rent homes long-term on Zillow. They use financial services for help with debt. Older adults use apps like Turo or special sites made for people over 55. But the question is, when did Canadians stop feeling welcome in the US? Did you live in a place where Canadians used to visit often? What changed around you? Comment below. Let's talk about it together. But Canada is just the start. The next country will surprise you. Japan used to send millions of students and workers to the US, but now, they're saying no, quietly. No protest signs. No boycotts. They're just canceling their plans. Many flights to LA and San Francisco were canceled. Student exchanges and business trips have dropped. Japanese media shared a story of a 58-year-old engineer. He was held at JFK Airport for 6 hours. No reason. No apology. He canceled his work trip and moved the company's research to Berlin. States like California, New York, and Washington are losing respectful, high-spending visitors. People who once trusted and loved the US, and now, the cycle begins. Less money. Shorter shifts. Fewer jobs. Drivers, receptionists, and Airbnb hosts are worried. Not just because of money, but because life feels different now. In places once filled with Japanese voices, there is now silence. But there is hope. One driver in Seattle took a free job training course from AARP. He said, "I can't wait for customers to come back, but I can change myself." When Japan starts avoiding the US, what does that say about our reputation? Did you ever work with Japanese clients? Have you noticed their absence? Share your story. Next, let's talk about Denmark. Danes once loved visiting the US, but after the US was accused of spying on Greenland, things changed. No anger. Just silence. Tourism from Denmark dropped 34% in March. Even US brands like Coca-Cola and Levi's are losing sales in Denmark. A group of students from Aarhus cancelled their New York exchange trip. They chose Canada instead. One student said, "We're not against America, but Canada feels safer and more like home." States like California, Illinois, and Massachusetts are losing not just money but culture. Tourists who once brought joy, now stay away. Famous tours are now gone from websites. Tables that once had laughter are now covered in dust. Workers lose shifts. First weekends, then weekdays. And then, their jobs. A 59-year-old chef in Chicago now works as a delivery driver. Thankfully, ARP's job training program is helping him restart. He said, "I never thought I'd start over at this age, but maybe it's time." Are we losing our image and trust around the world? Have you seen Danish tourists recently? Please comment below. Now, let's look at Australia. Australians loved Disneyland, Santa Monica, and American road trips. But in 2025, it's different. Flight bookings from Australia dropped 16%. The Australian government updated its travel warning 3 times. They mentioned poor airport security and unclear screening rules. California, Nevada, and New York are losing more than money. They're losing trust. And then things quietly fall apart. Tours canceled. Hotels empty. Breakfasts once filled with Aussie accents now sound like silence. Older hotel staff who used to greet guests in Australian English are being sent home. They don't complain. But they also don't know where to start over. Luckily, some programs are helping them. One of them is AARP Foundation SCS. It teaches digital skills and helps people over 55 find new jobs. A 61-year-old man in San Diego used this program. He now works part-time in a local bookstore. He said, "I no longer stand at the reception desk, but at least I still get to talk to people every day." Is America still a special place for those who once saw us as their closest friend in the South? Do you live in California, Nevada, or New York? Have you ever worked with Australian visitors? Do they still come often? Share your story. Maybe you're not the only one feeling that things are changing. And if you think Australians are stepping back, just wait till you hear what the French are saying now. They once called New York their second home. Germans once saw America as a place to learn, explore, and dream. But now, something is changing. Instead of smiling photos from Times Square or the Grand Canyon, German social media is asking a different question. Is it still safe to go to the US? A report from DRV said travel from Germany to the US dropped 28% in March. Leisure travel dropped by more than 1/3. Airlines like Lufthansa cut flights to California. They added more flights to South America and Northern Europe. These places are seen as friendlier and easier to visit. German news sites, like Spiegel and Süddeutsche Zeitung, have reported many cases. They tell stories of people being held at US airports. A 19-year-old artist from Hamburg was held for 12 hours at JFK. She was not given a reason. She had no interpreter. And she was sent back home. Her story made headlines, not because it was rare, but because it happened too often last year. Then, something worse happened. Trust was broken. States like New York, California, and Florida used to be German favorites. Now, these states are seeing fewer tourists, empty restaurants, and canceled tours. Small businesses are hurting. A 56-year-old driver. A 60-year-old tour guide. A single mother with an Airbnb in San Diego. They all have to quietly change their lives. Some older adults are starting again. They use programs like ARP's Work for Yourself at 50+. This program helps them start small home businesses. Some sell handmade crafts. Some give travel tours online. A tour guide in Los Angeles said, "I used to tell stories to German tourists. Now I tell stories through a webcam. Are we pushing away those who once trusted us? Who came to America not just for sights, but because they felt welcome? If you think this has gone too far already, the next country will shock you even more. They don't shout. They don't protest. They just quietly stop coming. As if America has disappeared from their minds. That country is Sweden. For Swedes, visiting America was once part of growing up. Studying abroad, taking road trips, attending global meetings. But now, that is quietly changing. A survey by YouGov Sweden showed something big. By early 2025, 63% of Swedes no longer had a positive view of the US. This is the lowest in 15 years. SAS Airlines also reported fewer US ticket sales. They dropped 19%. Meanwhile, more Swedes are flying to Canada, Germany, and the Netherlands. States like California, Texas, and Washington used to benefit from tech events and tourism. Now they are feeling the effects of Sweden pulling away. It wasn't one big event. Just many small steps taken at the same time. When people who once came start leaving, things change quietly. Like a cafe that slowly loses its happy customers. It becomes quiet. Fewer handshakes. No more Swedish greetings. Drivers at San Jose Airport used to welcome Nordic guests. Now they deliver food instead. A 61-year-old chef in Austin used to greet Swedish tourists. Now he worries he can't pay rent next month. But some people are trying again. Like a 60-year-old woman in Seattle. She used to plan events for Swedish guests. Now she's learning to make podcasts. She uses a platform called Get Set Up. It helps people over 55 learn new skills for free. Now a new question is rising in many minds. If people who loved America for its freedom are now staying away, are we losing more than just tourists? Are we losing trust? And if you think this is only a small change, the next country will surprise you even more. They are not just changing their travel plans. They are changing how they see modern America. There was a time when the French loved America. They saw it as the home of movies, creativity, and freedom. Posters of New York were everywhere in Paris student rooms. Older couples once dreamed of standing under Broadway lights. But now, that dream is fading. A 57-year-old woman in Paris used to visit New York often. This year, she canceled all her trips. She said, "I used to dream of New York. Now I just hope people don't think I'm American when I travel." It's a funny line. But also very sad. For states like New York, Massachusetts, and Florida, this is a big loss. They depend on French-speaking tourists. Now, hotel rooms stay empty. Tour guides no longer speak French in the streets. Photos at the Statue of Liberty are just memories now. Everything is slowing down. Like a song that stops halfway. French tour guides have lost work. Some now teach languages online. Others gave up. Some older people are starting new things. They joined ARP's training program for self-employment. Some opened Etsy shops. Others write blogs about past travels. It's their way to stay connected with the world. Have you ever felt like America is changing too fast? Like even the most loyal people no longer feel at home? What have you seen change around you? Tell us in the comments. Your story might be part of something much bigger. And if you think this is just because of politics, then the next country will leave you even more confused. South Koreans have always loved the US not just for trips, but for school and family memories. But now, they are waiting. Not because of money. Not because of weather. But because of a feeling. A quiet, uneasy feeling. Something they don't say out loud, but they all feel it. States like Florida, California, and Nevada always welcome Korean visitors. But this time, it's not just about fewer dollars. It's about losing the trust passed from parents to children. Parents who once studied in the US, kids who grew up loving Hollywood and theme parks. And now, that connection is fading. Not in one day. But little by little. It started with a message shared in a parents' group. An email said the tour was rescheduled. One family decided to travel somewhere else. Slowly, buffet tables for Korean guests became empty. Hotel staff who used to say, "Annyeong," each morning were moved to other departments. Nothing happened suddenly, but something clearly changed. Some workers in California tourism now take free online courses on Coursera or Get Set Up. These programs help people over 50 learn new skills. Is the American dream, once a gift from Korean parents to their kids, being replaced by something easier, calmer, and more trustworthy? And if you think this is only about travel, the next country might shock you even more. They are not just changing where they go. They are also changing how they see America. Young Dutch people once saw the US as the best place for education. Harvard, Stanford, and MIT were more than names. They were symbols of freedom, knowledge, and big dreams. But now, that dream seems to be changing. Quietly but surely. States like Massachusetts, New York, and California have many top universities. But fewer students means more problems. Rental areas near campuses have fewer tenants. International grocery stores are almost empty. Orientation days and meetings with international parents are less common. Like dorms once full of happy noise, now only quiet yellow lights remain at night. People who used to rent rooms to Dutch students are now listing their homes for long-term rent on Zillow. Some are learning how to start online businesses through ARP's Work for Yourself at 50+ program. They want to depend less on renting rooms. Some people still hope things will get better. But others are quietly adapting because they know that dreams can also change with time. This raises a big question. If people once chose America for freedom and education but are now going elsewhere, what does that mean for us? Have you ever lived near big schools like Harvard or NYU? Do you feel the international student community is shrinking? Please share your story. It might be a sign of something happening all across the country. And if you think all this is just personal change, the final country in this video is America's closest neighbor. And the message they are sending is even clearer. It's something many thought would never happen. But it's happening right now. Mexico, America's neighbor, is also stepping back. A family from Guadalajara who used to visit Texas every summer just canceled their trip. They said, "We used to relax, shop, and meet friends in America. But now, we feel like we're being watched and questioned too much. This makes the whole family feel uncomfortable." For states like Texas, Arizona, and California, which depend on Mexican visitors, this change matters a lot. These states and Mexico are connected not just by borders but by family, history, and culture. This loss is not just about money. It starts with small things. The warm lunches at local Mexican restaurants disappear. Spanish chats in supermarkets go quiet. Friendly smiles and greetings fade away. That silence spreads from local shops to roadside hotels. Uber drivers in Texas who once picked up travelers from Monterrey every week now deliver food in the evenings. A woman in Tucson who rented her vacation home to Tijuana families is selling it. She can't afford to keep it anymore. Many people are now joining the AARP, Back to Work 50+ program. They are learning skills like customer service and giving online tours for people in Latin America. One person said, "We still love Mexico. If they can't come here, we'll bring the experience to them." But when even our closest neighbors begin to choose other places, maybe it's time to ask, have we really been listening? The US tourism industry won't collapse overnight. But every canceled flight, every postponed visit, and every new destination chosen by a family is part of a bigger picture. They are not leaving because they hate America. They are leaving because they no longer recognize the America they once loved. The America where they felt safe, inspired, and respected. Is it time to ask how our country has changed? Because when people stop coming, we lose more than visitors. We lose connection. We lose trust. We lose a part of ourselves. Where do you live? Do you see any changes around you? Do you still see the international guests who once felt like part of the local scene? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters. It helps others see the bigger picture. If this video made you think, please like it, subscribe, and share it with others. Let's talk about America's future through real feelings and real experiences. This video shares public facts and real community stories. It does not speak for any group or political side. These reflections are not final answers. They are questions we should all think about. Thank you for watching until the end. See you in the next video.